Whenever there is something that inordinately pressures a system to a deleterious effect, to a deleterious extent, it eventually gives way. It breaks down. It's broken. It's very, very simple. It breaks down. Systems break down when that happens. Let me say this again. Whenever you have something that affects something negatively, horribly negatively, whenever this happens, whenever there's a system, let's say communism, Marxism, something which goes against the natural grain, it breaks down. It breaks down drastically, horribly. But the question is when and for how long? Let me just explain a couple of things here. People will forever debate this, and I don't want to be one of those folks who continues the debate, but I will and I shall. And it works something like this. When you have a system that is the prototypical, not the way the word is used today, but communism or Marxism, where you basically destroy the notion of human ingenuity, gumption, purpose, verve, ambition, thought, praise, hope, dreams, you destroy something naturally. It's like when you imprison someone. And what these folks do, irrespective of what people suggest, and it might work, for example, in the most impoverished of situations, but what you do is you destroy that which normally propels human beings who want to do better and that sort of thing. When things don't make sense after a while, they can only be made to exist if you compel them by virtue of governmental edict and the like. What am I trying to say? Wokeness is dead. This is the most important thing in the world I can say to you. Wokeness is dead. And we're going to use this term, wokeness. We're going to use these terms. We're going to use these wonderful phrases, these wonderful, glorious references, but we're going to use this term to describe what it is that we're talking about. And what it is that we're talking about is that as I read and as I peruse and as I know where to go to look, to see, to find, to see specifically what is happening, I am seeing time after time after time, I am seeing individuals recognize that this is done. We're seeing it at the corporate level. We're seeing it at the institutional level, at the economic level, it's done. It's done. And they knew this. They knew this. But you're not going to see the announcement. Nobody's going to throw their hands up and say, okay, you won. It doesn't work that way. You're starting to see it. Believe it or not, when historians look back and when you explain somebody to this, or explain it to somebody in the future, and you're going to say, what was it? What was that moment? Dylan Mulvaney. Dylan Mulvaney will always be known as the moment, as the person, as that seminal moment, interesting phrase, that destroyed the notion of woke corporate interference. But like, it was singular. Now understand what's happening here. Singular. And there's no way you could have ever anticipated this. It shows you that people will do what they are told. If the Black Rocks and the Vanguards and others and different movements, different groundswells of activity, different momenta, I guess. All of these will change. And what we're seeing right now is the end of it. Dylan Mulvaney, it's already gone right now. She's through. That shocked everybody by virtue of this. Remember something, because of her scariness. Go back and realize this, that painful grimace, that rictus. If it were anybody else, it would be a different story completely, number one. Number two, it confounded logic. It brought everything to a head. It was that, I don't want to call it a George Floyd moment, but sometimes there are these things that just incite something. There's this powder keg. There's this thing that starts everything going. Naturally contrived, who knows? But it's true. And that's when it all blew up and people went crazy. And Bud said, what do we do? Anheuser-Busch says, what do we do? You better keep going. And they tried it, and they tried it, and they tried it. And now you're starting to see, go and look and research. I can't even keep track. ECI, DEG, all of the diversity. It's done. Why is that? Why? Who knows why? What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? What is changing right now? What is different? What are you paying attention to? The elections. Do you see what's happening? The elections, they are going nuts. Look at the number of people. Look at the number of stories where you see that a Donald Trump candidacy hurts, an RFK Jr. candidacy hurts Trump versus Biden. Did you see that? And you'll see a plethora of it. Why? Why? Because it hurts Biden. You take what they say and understand why are they saying it. It hurts Biden. They're worried about Biden. They're not worried about Trump. They're worried about Biden. And they don't know what's going on. And see, one of the things that you do, that most people do, is you always think that there are smart people involved. That there are smart people involved doing smart things and recognizing things, and they're the ones. They're the ones. They know there's a reason for this. Oh, yes. There's a reason for this. You believe this. There's a reason why. Why would they always blame Vanguard and BlackRock? And why would BlackRock want to do this? Why? Please stop trying to figure out why. Because when we stop looking at what's happening and we try to analyze why, we're wasting our time. We will never know why. I don't know this, but recognize what's happening. Number one, it's over for that. It's done. Second, you're seeing more and more people that you would never normally see. Black folks and gay folks and old folks stand up and say, we have enough of this. What is going to inadvertently unite this country is the illegal in this invasion of illegals, not migrants. Words are important. We always love to change words. Words are critical. Some people like to change words just because they just like to change them. I remember when I was growing up, you black folks were referred to as colored. NAACP colored, the colored race, the colored. There was not the slightest thing at that moment. It was utilized by black folks called colored. Negro then became, it sounded almost like a little bit Margaret Meadish, anthropological, Negroid, Caucasoid, it's Negro. Okay. Malcolm X used it. Malcolm X would say the so-called Negro, so-called, well, if race meant anything. And it's when hyper race, and the reason why is that race became even more important because of the taxonomy, the appellations, the words that were used. That became Negro, black. When James Brown said, I'm black and I'm proud, say it loud. Black power, black. This was from color, black. Black before sounded not necessarily as a pejorative, but it sounded scary to people. Black. What do you mean black? Black? Oh my God. Became okay. All right. Afro. Not in hairstyle. Afro. Afro-American. Later on. African-American. Fairly new. People of color. What was that about? To raise the end, to increase the size and the capacity of the tent, and to add another little word. You see, everybody wants to be able to use the right word at the right time to convey the right thing. Gay is the greatest, the greatest transmogrification. I don't know what you call it, advancement from. Oh my God, there are more. I don't even know. And it became, and they did not realize this. It became a joke. Because what happens is different names imply disunity. You never heard Black Americans, African Americans ever distinguish themselves hue or geographical or they did not take the notion. This one thing is very smart. They did not take the notion of, they used to use the word negritude, but they never used the notion of they called this then blackness. This was a word that was more 60s-ish, but they never ever differentiated and implied that one was greater or different than the other. It was black. They did not care about this, which is very smart. Biracial, dual racial, doesn't matter. What if they had? Well, they said, well, you're biracial. Well, you can join us, but no. They don't want to hear anything about this. When I say they, people who suggest, when they're dealing with the notion of racial issues, they don't want to hear the degree of your eligibility. Nonsense. Nobody, and it's a very wise thing. Gay, another story. And these absolutely comical, ridiculous, seemingly endless, deliberately, I mean, they did not see what was happening. They did not see it. The perpetuation, the iteration, the seemingly endless groups of these strange performance artists in Instagram, just going through these names of pronouns, and my nickname was what? It became a joke. It became more, I'm cool. I don't know what the cause is, but I have a name, you have it. Two-spirit, asexual, demisexual, hemisexual, quasi-sexual, cryptosexual, metasexual, infrasexual, you're below, ultrasexual, hemi, ipsy, meta, circumlocutory, Visigothians. I mean, it's just it. Nobody said stop it. You're turning this into a carnival. You're ruining it. That also led to this. What is this? And meanwhile, then was the stopping and the introduction of trans. Trans became obscured with non-binary. Non-binary, it was the complete and total confusion. Non-binary to some people today still means gay. It's not gay. There are gay men and gay women, and they say, I am a woman. I'm a man, or whatever it is. I'm gay. Lori Lightfoot, whoever the latest senator from, she's a woman. So the word T, trans, was thrown into the mix to artificially confuse it even more so. Black activists from the 60s civil rights looked back and said, what are you doing? You are artificially creating this palette, this paradigm, this spectrum, this frequency of inclusion and non-inclusion that you are involving yourselves just for reasons no one can even remotely understand. It makes no sense. but it became kitschy, and it became this part of this weird, the same Instagram world that says, hey, we're planking. Remember that? Hey, we're twerking. Remember that? Hey, look, there's a thing. Do you see what happened? And others sat back and said, what are you doing? What are you doing? And the reason why you will never, irrespective of what anybody thinks, you will never, ever find yourself ever, and there will never be a diminution and a dilution of civil rights and the like, is because the cause and the focus and the reference has never, ever been confused. It's never been diluted. It's never been needlessly complicated. Black people, doesn't matter. Whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. That's it. But now, I don't know what it is. What do you do? Where is the two-spirit community? What is the point? Have you ever sat back? So let me go back to what I'm saying. It started with Dylan Mulvaney. That's when it started. And you're seeing it more and more and more. And Americans are just fed up with this. They don't want to hear about this anymore. They want their country back. They want rationality back. This is ridiculous. They've had it with COVID and masks and weirdos and social distancing, and we've had it. We've had it with, we don't know what's going on anymore. Who's in charge? They hate this administration. America hates this. Nobody looks at Joe Biden and says, that's my guy. Nobody. Listen to what I'm telling you. They've created this. And all the while, don't ever think for a moment, when Donald Trump is sitting back there and he is being, this attorney general, what she's posting during a pending, an actual case as she's commenting, she's not even trying the case, her office is, for her to be posting these personal digs, this childish, pedantic, absolutely rude, discourteous, unprofessional nonsense. We're sick of it. We're sick of this crime. Whole Foods, some maniac, some berserk. It's time to corral these people, throw them back into psychiatric facilities with a lock. Lock them up. Americans are sick of it. Do you see what's happening in 2024? Why do you think all of a sudden they're saying, hey, Pops, Biden, you're going to now be advocating walls? Okay, whatever. He doesn't care. He doesn't care in the least. I'm telling you. And you know who really is going to be scared right now is Gavin Newsom. He has no idea what's happening. He has no clue. He's walking in. This is his moment in the sunshine, and they're going to say, watch what he does. Watch. And all you have to do on any kind of a debate is say, well, Gavin, what do you feel about puberty blockers? What do you think about basically taking a child, having a child kidnapped, and not having a parent know that their child has now accepted some identity regarding some gender that nobody knew about? How do you like that? Does that make sense to you, Gavin? Are you okay with that, Gavin? Is that your thing, Gavin? Are you all right with that, Gavin? Huh? Is that your thing? Go ahead. Tell people. Tell people of California. Say, that's great. Tell parents that their kid, you may say goodbye to little Jimmy in the morning, and little Jenny or whatever, or Moondog or whatever, comes home and you know nothing about this. That there was surgeries or God knows what, that you had some judicial intervention and the parents knew nothing about it. You want to sign off on that? You want to sign off on that? Go ahead. It's up to you. You're done if you do this. You're done. Please do this. Our friend Sparky says, in the U.S. in the 60s and 70s, South Asians were considered white. Now, along with other non-Northern Europeans, Caucasians, they're called people of color. Race, a silly notion, is establishment weaponized. Absolutely. Race is something that biologically it means nothing. Nothing. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say this as I run for office. Here is the story. You will never, ever, in my administration, you will never, ever be able to deny someone something merely because of their race. Merely because of their religion. But what about their gender? What about their gender? What do you do there? In my administration, we talk turkey. Well, let's continue. Tell me why being black disenables you from being in the Marine Corps. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me what that means. Tell me what that. Tell me what. Tell me what being Jewish or atheist or Buddhist has to do with being a fireman. What? I'm talking about inherently. You might say, well, somebody who's an Orthodox Jew may not want to work on Friday. Okay. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what inherently can a black man do that a white man do? Nothing. Nothing. Sorry. And you can argue whatever you want. However, is there ever a time when you could say men and women respond differently in terms of behavior? Yes. In terms of, let's say, performance ability? Yes. In terms of physical ability? Yes. Absolutely. If you can show me why, that's a different story. Period. That's something we're going to talk about. Nobody's even discussing that anymore because we're not even talking about the glass ceiling. We're talking about these performance art men who think it's a good idea to come in and push women out of the way. And women, you're being destroyed and diluted. Do you understand what's happening? This is the ultimate. This is the ultimate in discrimination. Things that were prototypically, preternaturally, those were typically historically yours. One of the dumbest things I think in the world are beauty pageants, but nonetheless, if you want to do it, it's a free country. You're being what? All of a sudden, this thing out of nowhere. And the best part about it was that, personally speaking, I don't give a damn, one way or the other. If the Dallas Cowboys want to have men as cheerleaders, I could not care less. It's a free country. That's okay. I don't care. And what you feel internally, what you feel, whatever, is fine. You can do whatever you want. You can think whatever you want. You can dress however you want. It doesn't matter. However, when you decide that you're going to individually, unilaterally, on your own, decide that you're going to now say, oh, by the way, I'm now going to take my particular internal ideations about gender and I'm going to apply them to the world. No. Sorry. And we can talk about this all day long. We can talk about all this. You can talk about No. You and I know there are rules that we have about not cousins marrying. Actually, sometimes it's okay for cousins. Weird, but let's say sisters and siblings. You know that, right? You understand that. There is a law which says that siblings cannot marry. And you can argue whether it's a half or a step. I don't know. Look at Woody Allen and Sun Yi. Remember, well, that's a step daughter. Okay, fine. Consanguinity, affinity, all right, fine. But you and I know there's this rule that says specifically, there's this rule that says, this is very important. There's this rule that says that brothers and sisters can't marry. If I say to you, this is your sibling, you have the same father and the same mother, and you cannot be married. And you say to me, you don't understand. I reject the notion. Okay? She's not my sister to me. She is my soulmate. And I was raised apart from her. Okay. And I don't even know her. It's not like we were in the same house. Okay. So she's not my sister. Yes, she is. No, she's not. Yes, she is. Now, you want to argue? You want to argue that one? You want to tell me that? No, you see, I think she's a no, she's your sister. Do you understand how this thing works? Should I explain this to you? You want to do that one next? Go ahead. Go ahead, tell me. There are some things you and I know that you can think whatever you want, but that's the way it is. We do not want people who are siblings, blood siblings, marrying. That's it. You can say whatever you want. I don't care. You can date. I can't stop that. You can live together, cohabit. I would rather your intimacy stop there too, but marry sanctioned by the state? No. That's genetics. That's biology. That's whatever. Now, if that's a problem for you, I don't know what to tell you. And the very fact that we're even discussing this disgusts me. But we've had enough. Do you hear what I'm saying? We've had enough. We are on the brink right now of changing things drastically. Do me a favor, dear friends. Stop worrying about this stupid, ridiculous Speaker of the House nonsense. Who cares? Jim Jordan, Steve Scalise, whatever. Jim Jordan hasn't done a damn thing. Rand Paul, oh God, he was on Twitter. He was on with Hannity, and the longest introductory questions I've ever heard in my life. My God, the questions themselves could be the show. He hasn't done a damn thing about Rand Paul. They talk. Stop worrying about that. Here is the deal. What's going to happen in 2024? Number one, Trump is the nominee. Number two, RFK goes libertarian. And they're trying to say that, well, I think Cornel West has a bigger seat. Okay, whatever. And it's going to be, and I know, they cannot allow, they cannot permit Joe Biden to be the nominee. You know this. I know this. We all know this. He can't do it. How does he get out? I don't know. He'll just leave. Something will happen. He'll bump his head. Nobody's going to yell, Joe, come back. It doesn't matter. He could just, listen to me. Are you listening to me carefully? He's already left. He has been unavailable now for years. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Our friend Sparky says, I can see race only used for limited purposes like medical or as physical description, but people should realize 50,000 years ago, we all look sort of like Nelson Mandela. Race is fairly recent. Could be, but thank you for that, Sparky. An excellent point. I am affected by class. What does that mean? By class. I don't care. When people say, well, I don't want to know, I don't want to live in this neighborhood. What do you mean by that? Well, I'm in this. Excuse me, what are you saying? Are you saying there's a racial thing there? Because sometimes people will say that. They'll say it, but they don't mean it. What people mean is simply this. Deep down inside, I don't want to live anywhere where I got to deal with people I don't like. And I have found in my life that people rarely ever dislike someone merely because of something that is not even relevant. They react to behavior. They react to appearance. They react to noise. They react to crime. They react to violence. They react to stability. They react to a lot of stuff. They have no interest whatsoever in race. Or it doesn't matter. It does not matter. It's the people. Are they nice? Are they courteous? Are they whatever? I don't understand why don't we realize this? When we see people, and this is where it gets dangerous. When we see some people, we say, I can't stand it. And they'll look at this and you're saying, no, it's not the color or the race or the gender or the religion or the geographical location of these people. It's what they're doing. You're interpreting it in terms of right. There was another person. There was another. You always see this. You always see this. There was a case of some knife wielding, hammer wielding, some nut in a Whole Foods who goes crazy and does all this stuff and hurts people. And somebody said they're animals. These people are anybody in the street is a bunch of animals. With all due respect, animals are savages. People who do this, people who hurt others. And invariably, somebody waiting to be offended will say, "Aha, you can't say that." What? Animals, savages. Why not? Because that's racist. I'm not talking about their race, but that's who they are. But that's not what I'm saying. When people used to talk about the mob and how the mob would come in and affect and try to go after innocent store owners for protection money and lean on them and people would say, I hate the mafia, they're snakes. They're whatever. Nobody says, hey, how dare you talk about Italian people like that? I'm not talking about, but they're all Italian. I'm not talking about Italian people. Well, that's who these people are. Well, that's fine then. You know how this works. Look, I've been doing this forever. I know how this thing works. The people who just want to sit back and they want to be offended and they want to see new ways to be offended. We don't care about that anymore. We've been offended. We're offended. You got to start worrying about us. Worry about us being offended, not others. We're not worried about this anymore. It's done. It's finished. We don't care whatever you want to say. Who cares? You know and I know it. That canard is over. Okay? We've said it before. We're going to say it again. We don't give a rat's ass about what you wear, what you do with your studded nose and all this stuff. Go ahead. I cannot tell you. I'm looking at this right now. And I'm looking the other day where someplace, I forget where it was. And there's this young girl with the nose stud. Fine. You can take that out. But her arms are covered. I know I'm talking about tattoos again. And I would only want to, I just can't wait until grandma and these blotched blue things and this, they're mindless. But that's a free country. You go ahead. We're taking the country back. I don't care about people if you want to, but they're stupid. This is what we're dealing with. And Americans are recognizing the fact that we've had enough of this. And the thing is, we're winning, and they won't tell you this. They won't tell you this. They won't let you do this. They won't let you do it. This is the story. Look at this. This is a story. This is from The Messenger. Listen to this. Wokeness. Go to my Twitter account at Lionel Media. Wokeness isn't receding only on store shelves and in marketing materials. It is also slowing down in corporate boardrooms. NPR recently reported on the decline of corporate funding for company diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI department. In 2020, large corporations climbed over each other to announce 7- and 8-figure grants and endowments for racial justice causes. Between July 2020 and July 2021, the number of DEI positions nationwide nearly doubled. Now that funding has slowed to a trickle. 1/3 of DEI professionals lost their jobs in 2022. A more recent survey found a decline in DEI job postings of more than 38% since last summer. NPR noted that similar programs may see a decline because of the Supreme Court decision earlier this year to end affirmative action in college admissions. It's over. Over. You hear what I'm saying? Can't say it enough, my friends. Can't say it enough. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, in the meantime, what are they talking about? They're talking about I don't know what. And let me also tell you something. Please stop talking about the American people. Let me explain something to you. And I want you to listen to me and understand something. I hate phonies. And one of the biggest phonies ever is somebody who is an act. It's an act. It's performance act. Judge Janine Tulsi Gabbard, going Jen Psaki, you could left, right, whatever. It's an act. You get into this. And there's this thing where they placate you and they sit around and they bitch and moan about the obvious. That's over. That's over. Let me explain to you something which is the most important. Listen to me carefully. The biggest thing that's happening right now, the biggest differential. Did you see Putin talk about Trudeau? There's this speech going around where he called basically Trudeau an idiot. He says, you're an idiot. If you don't understand that a certain faction of the German population rhymes with Yahtzee, as some would say. When Trudeau doesn't understand, he's an idiot. And this is what's going on in the rest of the world. There is a movement in regular, in more, dare I say, mainstream and conventional platforms here that deal with the notion, specifically the notion, very, very critical, that Americans are sick and tired of this Ukraine nonsense. Good luck. Stop the killing. Stop that. It's not my flag. Not a penny. Not a penny and not a penny more. Period. Enough. We don't care. This has nothing to do with us. We're not stupid. We understand the scam. It's like a no-show job. It's gangster. It's classic. Get this Jadrul. Get Kolomoisky. Create him. Borat, Chauncey Gardner. Create this pretend image of whatever this guy is. Bring him in. Give him the uniform. Make him talk like this. Okay, fine. Did you see how much his wife's spending? Did you see this? Can you believe this? Just read the stories about how much she's spending. $1 million for this and that. It's obvious. And they don't even care because they know you're not going to do anything. Because we've got these stupid Americans who walk around here with their stupid Ukrainian flags. They have no idea what they're doing. They don't even know. Sometimes they have it upside down. Is it blue on the top? Oh, yeah, blue is sky. Okay. They don't know. They just do whatever you want. Oh, put the flag up. Put the flag. Okay. Okay. Support Ukraine. Where is it? Here's a globe. Where is it? Find it. Give me a moment. You got to. They have no idea. And again, there are people who are doing a great job. Judge Nat Mearsheimer, the Duran, Scott Ritter, Colonel McGregor. I mean, it's ridiculous. But yet, when you watch ABC and this and that, they're living in another world. What's the matter with you? Hey, all you student loan idiots. You worried about your money? It's in Ukraine. You Jadrol, it's in Ukraine. You're a chooch. I can't believe this. What is going on? And it's both Fox News and that Neil Cavuto, that quisling rat. Have you heard him? Why are you? God, it's nothing. They just talk. Their whole thing is just stir the pot. They don't care anything about nothing. They talk about the American people. Would you stop talking about the American people? You haven't done one thing. Hey, Jim Jordan, what have you done for the American people yet? What have you done? You put on great shows. Hey, wasn't that great? Did you see the way I tore Fauci apart? Yeah, it was great. Hey, want to bring on John Kennedy? John Kennedy. It's a joke. Close the place down. Shut the government down. Forget it. I'm voting for Trump, period. And Bobby Kennedy, boy, he's a mush. He just like, I don't know. I guess his style is just not that great. Trump is so furious. Let him go. And now they're saying like, well, he might have talked to somebody before about who? I don't know, somebody. What? Well, he might have talked about somebody about nuclear, but who? I don't know. Some who? What are you bringing this up for? I don't know. I'm just, I don't know. What are you talking about? I love that guy. I want to get him. I want to get him so mad. And I want him to go out and hope he realizes that the people that don't want him are the Republican Party. Read the National Review. See what Rich Lowry and that crowd. You see, remember this. Democrats are in lockstep the way the mob is. They have no mind. They have no mind. They really have no mind. Ilhan Omar, what the hell is she talking about? Rashida Tlaib, Ayanna Pressley, AOC. AOC's in it for herself. AOC, if I said, AOC, listen, I'll make you a deal. If we pass a resolution that declares you to be hot, would you go away? Would you? Yeah. That's it. You want to be president? No. You really want to help people? No. But tell me I'm hot. I want you. Do you think I'm hot? You're the hottest. You're so hot. Can you sign this for me? Would you step down here? We'll sign it. We will proclaim you. We'll call Wikipedia. You're hot. Would you go away? I'll go away. That's it. Tulsi, same for you, huh? What do you want? I just want to be Tulsi. You want to be hot too? Okay, you can join her. Get rid of these people. What are you wasting your time for? Did you see this wonderful? What is going on here? I don't understand why there's this connection. The number one issue is everybody out of Ukraine. What are we doing? Did you not learn from Vietnam? Do you not know anything? They're ripping you off. Do you not understand this? No, you don't. You should be ashamed. You should be furious. What happened to the American people? Tell me. Tell me. What happened? How stupid are they? I'm ashamed of them. I'm ashamed. Dear God. Now look at this one here. It gets so much. Oh, this is so good. Just now look at this one. Let me give you an idea. This is the story, okay? Now this is one of the biggest stories. Breitbart. America created 336,000 jobs in September. If you want to kill people, absolutely talk about jobs. Talk about jobs. Okay? Just talk about jobs and watch what happens. Watch how long they talk about. What does that mean? 300. This job talk. It's like it stalls people. Would you stop that? What do jobs mean? What does this mean? McDonald's? I don't even know what that means. Here we go. Biden caves. Democrat building the wall. The wall is an illusion. The wall is an illusion. Listen to me. Are you listening? Are you listening? Who's listening? Let me see it. Let me tell you something. Okay? Let me explain something to you. If you want to make people stop coming into this country illegally, when you get them, you make it real hard on them because you're breaking into our country. You're burglars. You are a border burglar. We're going to put you in a prison and then ship you back. It's not going to be pretty at all. Period. We'll make sure children are okay, unaccompanied. We know that routine. These poor kids are brought in and they're wholesale, they're trafficked. We don't even know where they end up. We don't even know who they are. We don't know anything about their beloved, their vaccine status. We have no idea. See, you can just take the borders down. You can take all the borders and just say, watch this. Everybody gets here. Everybody has one of these. Come on in. This is my card I have, my I Love New York. But this is going to be my citizenship card. Everybody's got it. And as long as somebody said last night, as long as there's not going to be any kind of medical chip on it, everybody's got one. Come on in. You want to work? Yeah. Show me your card. You don't have a card? Pick up the phone. Got another one here for you. And by the way, you know. Remember when MS-13 was such a big deal? Remember people walking around with MS-13 tattooed to their foreheads? What happened to them? I don't know. Did you not figure out how to get rid of the MS-13? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. See, if you make it a living hell for these people, believe me, you don't need this. You want people to do this. Listen to me. You want people to say, listen, whatever you do, don't break into that country. It's the worst. Try going into anybody breaking into North Korea? No. Well, you might say, well, there's nothing to go there for. No. That's not the reason. Anybody breaking in, why? You know why? Because he scares the hell out of you. Give him take the January 6th treatment and do that for everybody. Have huge swaths of processing places. I'm dead serious. Barry Taylor says no foreign entanglements. Absolutely, BT. BT Express, my friends. All of a sudden, send them back. I also want to tell you something. I mentioned this last night. If you're with me on this one, okay? I told somebody, go, oh, you can't do this. The hell I can. Listen to me very carefully. We call up Obrador, the president of Mexico. Obi, yeah, listen. POTUS here, Lotus. Lotus for POTUS. Lionel of the United States. Yeah, how you doing? Good. Listen. I've been thinking, and I think you know all about the Sinaloa cartel and the Los Viagras and the LFMLOD. You know the name of these people, right? Good. Yeah. Here's what we're going to do. We know that you're basically in bed with the cartels. I know you've been telling us a story about, oh, they're so big. I don't know what to do about them. They scare me. Okay, fine. Well, here's what we're going to do. We believe that you and the cartels are like this. And absent a showing that we're wrong, we're going to blame you for all of the problems and harms that befall us. Consequently, here's the deal. We're going to declare war against the cartels. And that means we're going to go in with hellfire missiles and stuff you haven't even seen before. And we're going to take them out. Because they're shipping fentanyl and they're the coyote. They're bringing all these people in. So we're just telling you right now. Put the word out. Put the word out. You think I'm kidding? Sparky says, I've seen AOC look at Matt Gaetz like Elon Omar did the other day, as if Gaetz were Elvis. That's how lame their boyfriends are. I saw that as well. I did think that was a bit. They did look a little googly-eyed. Do you not think? Now, all of a sudden, listen to me carefully. You think I'm kidding? You think I'm just being exaggerated? Imagine this. All of a sudden, you find out, for reasons I shan't be able to understand, there's some kind of a, I don't know, some kind of a coverage of this. Okay, coverage. And all of a sudden you see this. Remember those terrible WikiLeaks things where you would see these door gunner, these, and you would say, this is the Sinaloa cartel. This is El Chucho, Severera. He is the head he's like the El Chapo of this. Now watch this. We gave him warning. We just got this is a fentanyl lab out of Tijuana, wherever the hell it is. Okay, ready? Watch this. Boom. Pyroclastic dust everywhere. Any questions? You can't do that. Think of this as Ukraine. Would that make you happy? People don't even know what the hell they're talking about. Donbass, Donetsk, Lugansk. I don't know. They don't know. Good. Just think of this. And we got others planned for you too. Hey, Obrador. Yeah, it's me, Lotus. Yeah, listen. You think I'm kidding? Oh, we're not done yet. I warned you. We're going to go after your next one. And we're going to announce it. We're going to go after you. We know who you are. I would tell everybody, get out of this right now. We always drop leaflets or whatever it is. Get out of here. This is a fentanyl. We're going to do this. And we know who you are. We know intel. Believe it or not, you've got peasants. Let me know who these people are. We will go in and we will take care of them. We will have agents already there. We're going to put our money. You're not going to come into our country. And you're not going to do it by sending stuff in. This is war. Everybody pretends to get upset at China for sending in counterfeit stuff. It's a different world. It's just a different world. And you want to have people all of a sudden for the first time say, damn. And the same thing goes here. If you were a knife-wielding person, you were taken and we're going to have in the desert huge maximum security that other states can use. You don't have to worry about your own. We just put them there. It's kind of like a collective agreement. We'll sign a treaty with different, and they can be, I don't care if they're privately run. I don't really care. But as long as they're there, and we just ship them. Huge, huge warehouse, these people. Huge. Never see them again. That's it. Number 2, we start to reconnect and reopen psychiatric units with locks. Locks on the doors. I'm getting tired of people. Well, he has some problems with his medication. Oh, yeah, screw that. You're out of here. You're done. Wokeness is over. Wokeness is over. It's done. Whatever this was, this world that we lived in, it's over. The last gasp of wokeness. It's done. It's finished. And believe me, if you can eliminate that problem, you will forever change the way people think. It will change the way bad guys act. It will be one of the most wonderful things you've ever seen. I'm telling you, believe me when I say this, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Because we have been wimpy and we have wasted our time to the point we just talk a good game. All we do is we talk about stuff. And I've had it. Sparky says, when will Trudeau take a DNA test? I want to know if his dad is Fidel Castro. I want to know for no other reason than it's funny and interesting. Margaret Trudeau was in Cuba at the right time. Margaret Trudeau was, she was during, the Studio 54 days. And frankly, as a practical matter, if you want to have fun, I'll give you the Trudeau thing. Here's what I want to know, just for the hell of it. Prince Harry and Major Hewitt. And I want to know about Andrew and Lord Porchester. Those guys are all over the place. And there's some ones here. There's some folks here who are some other folks you'd be surprised who are not who they say they are. That's one of those things. Like you, for no particular reason other than, it's interesting. Trudeau is a joke. Trudeau absolutely disgusts me to no end. You got it? Absolutely disgusts me. My friends, I would be remiss if I did not remind you that our dear friends right now at preparewithlionel.com are offering 25% off a 3-month emergency food kit. Do you understand that? 25% off a 3-month emergency food kit to get you going, which will astound you. With a 25-year shelf life. 25-year shelf life. 21 varieties of food, breakfast, lunches, dinners, you name it. Do you hear what I'm saying? Preparewithlionel.com. I don't know what you're going to need to know this. Maybe like most people, but I'm telling you right now. Believe me when I say this to you. Believe me when I say this. There is going to come a time when food is going to be critical. And now's the time to act. Because I'm telling you, I don't have to warn you. You're smart. Preparewithlionel.com. Go right now. Take advantage of a 25% off a 3-month emergency food kit. You got that? Prepare with Lionel. And our friends at MyPillow right now offering the best, the greatest, the most luxuriating items for your comfort and pillows and blankets and everything you can imagine. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel. All right, dear friends, thank you so very much. We will see you tonight, this eve yet again. We will see you this eve at 7 p.m. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you for your involvement. Thank you for your focus. Thank you for your care and concern and laser-like precision when it comes in analyzing the problems. You are absolutely the greatest. We love you. We'll see you tonight, 7 p.m. Did I say? Sometimes I say 8. It's 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern time. See you then. And don't forget, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.